All right, y'all. Good now, back again. Let's lock in. Shout out to the IPA, International Passport Association, and affiliates. Good docs, good books, all my good shit. Listen, link in the description there below. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the homie Raymond Hodges for giving me and inspiring this particular video, wherein we're gonna discuss what is it that African Americans, Black Americans in general, are looking for in a Filipina. You see, this is a reverse engineering type of mentality, right? We always tend to think about the ideas of what Filipinos look for in foreigners, or, we say, what do your normal, everyday, average guy look for in characteristics of a Filipina? But I'm going to kind of condense that or make it a little bit more concise and focus specifically on guys from the Black American community background. Now, I only got three that I'm going to give you guys today. And in the comment section below, you let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you want to add on to it, okay? I'm only going to give you three. And again, make sure you understand that this is coming from a Black American mentality or a perspective or a approach. So a lot of these questions may be, I'm sorry, not the questions, but a lot of the characteristics that I'm about to give you guys may be somewhat specifically something that I see my fellow brethren, Black American guys, going for in a Filipina. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Namera Isa, number one. I believe that one of the characteristics that my fellow Black American brethren look for in a Filipina, in the general sense, not necessarily for all of us, but in the general sense, they like their women to be thick and on the curvy side. Okay, so it's not uncommon to see somebody like myself walking around the country with a young lady, not me specifically, I'm married, but walking around the country with a young lady that has a little bit of a figure. Not so much payat, not so much thin or small body frame. You'll see them walking around with girls that have a little bit of curves to them, a little bit of shape to them, right? Because I think that is generally, for the most part, what a lot of these guys find to be attractive, myself included. Again, I'm not necessarily saying that it's thick or nothing, but at the same time, because of how rare it is to find this in the Philippines, when you do find it, a lot of guys seem to attach themselves and lock into it. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, a lot of these girls who are fitting that particular bill are probably going to be attracted to Black American men as well, simply because these are the guys that they know are interested in that particular body type, and maybe, just maybe, their own men or men of other races may not find that particular body type to be as attractive. Not saying that they don't find it to be attractive, but as attractive as a Black American guy would. So I would say, from the general sense, number one, not in any particular order, Black American guys are looking for their women, even African guys if you want to, they like their women to be curvy. And I guess you should understand why that is, because most of the women that represent our culture, background, Black women, etc., this is the general body type that they tend to represent, okay? So, it kind of just follows the trend. You'll see that we're going to see a lot of the things that we like in, Black women in specific, or our own women, and we're going to probably try to find that in women in overseas countries. Now, a lot of y'all going to get to the nitty gritty, so I'm going to go ahead and bust this open right now. Oh, well, if you like women that look like your own women, why don't you date your own women? I know it's coming. Again, you can't help who you like. You can't help your approach to life. You can't help if you've had bad experiences in the past and you just want to try something new. So if a guy's looking for something new, sometimes they're going to find certain characteristics that remind them of their own and just transpose it onto another young lady or something to that effect. All right, so a thick, curvaceous Filipina would probably be somewhat at the top of the list of something that I think your average, everyday Black American guy might be interested in having. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, that young lady got to be able to cook. She got to be able to cook. Not Glorilla, let them cook, but she gonna have to learn how to cook, or she's gonna have to know how to cook. Again, the cooking aspect, that goes across the board. Let's go ahead and call it for what it is. A lot of guys like their women to be able to know how to cook, but if you are dating an African American guy, I believe cooking is also at the top of that list. And the reason I believe that to be true is because we like to eat, okay? Food is very, very important to your everyday average, but I think for your African American guy, gotta find a young lady that knows how to whip it up real good. And I mean, most of that goes without saying, but you don't have to necessarily be the best cook, but you can definitely transition yourself into being a good cook, a cook that is good enough for the guy that you're with. Right, and you cook if you cook things the way that the guy likes, or whoever you're with, it don't matter if you're the greatest cook in the world or not. If you could cook for him and you could take care of him, that is pretty much all that a guy really needs in life. He like to get it in, right? Keep in mind, he like the F. So thick little body type, being curvaceous, kind of fits that mold. Food is your other F. Of course, the last F will be funds, but it ain't got nothing to do with money because nobody cares if you got money or not. But the last one, ladies and gentlemen, falls in line with number 2 just a little bit. But I believe personally that a Black American guy is looking for a Filipina that will pamper him. Okay? Pamper him by nature. What does that mean? Falling in line with being able to cook for him. A lot of guys, and I don't want it to seem a bit of a psychological perspective, but let me just go ahead and tell you, a lot of guys are looking for women that remind them of their mothers, not in no weird incestual type of way, but a lot of guys are looking for a woman that's going to take care of him like his mama would, right? So a lot of guys who have great relationships with their moms and stuff, and mom took care of them and raised them and, taught them everything that they need to know. Again, fathers are hella important. I'm glad that I'm able to have my father and for as long as I did have my mother in my life. But at the same time, a lot of guys are looking for a woman that can pamper them, take care of them. Look, baby, had a long day. You want to rub my man's feet a little bit. He gonna appreciate that, right? Cook him a good meal like we talked about in number 2. Be able to just be his support system. Again, that may be the same for a lot of guys in the general sense, but at the same time, I think it's just a little bit more for Black men, right? Just a little bit more for Black guys, right? Because again, we're not the most, well, I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to say it anyways. Maybe in the minds of others, we may not be the most popular types of guys. People still want shit on you or whatnot. And if you feel like the world's shitting on you, at least got to have that one person in your corner that's got your back, right? So the pampering comes into it, baby. Just, make sure I'm fed, make sure I'm taken care of and all that shit. Be my support system. Be that one that's next to me that's going to take care of me. And I do believe you will have that man for life. You're going to have that man's attention for a long, long time, as long as you take care of him in a way that nobody else has been able to take care of him before. And if you ask me, those are 3 particular characteristics. There are so many more, but those are the 3 that I think a lot of guys are looking for in the women that they look for. I mean, in the women that are in the Philippines. These are 3 characteristics that they are genuinely attracted to when it comes to the women in the Philippines. Number 1, the thick, curvaceous body types. Again, this doesn't say that all guys are looking for women of that particular body type, or Black American men, all of them are looking for that particular body type, but to an extent, a lot of guys are. That's number 1, the thick, curvaceous body type. Number 2, the ability to be able to cook, take care of me, shit like that. Number 3, the pampering by nature, take care of me, the household, all that good shit. And just, nurture me in a way that, makes me feel like the man that I am, right? Tell me what guy wouldn't appreciate that. More specifically, somebody of my particular melanin. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time, effort, and energy. If you appreciate this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's been a good night, man. Whew. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Talk us out. Peace.